I don't even know why I'm making this video, to be fair, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So I obviously create fragrance content and collect fragrances, as you can see from the collection behind me. But there's certain fragrances that I kind of want to keep for myself, and I'm calling these ones the gatekept fragrances. But today and today only, I'm going to make a video about all of them. And after this, you probably won't hear me speak much about them. So if you're locked in right now, you're locked in. If you're not, I'm sorry. Yes, people, or what is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. So if you're new here, my name's TJ, of course, and over here on my channel, I discuss all things fragrances and the fragrance industry. So if there's any content, anything at all you would like for me to create, let me know down in the comments. So being a fragrance content creator is like a gift and a curse, because normally if you find a good fragrance, you want to shout and scream about it. You want to tell all the world about it. But then if you want to buy the fragrance in the future and continue to rebuy it, talking about it too much could be detrimental to that, because they might discontinue it. You might not be able to get your hands on a bottle, and it just might be out of stock every single time you get it. So it's a little bit of a weird one. So I just wanted a couple of fragrances to myself that are not mainstream. They're not hyped up. Not a lot of people are speaking about them. So kind of when I've got them in the collection or when I'm rocking them, it almost feels like I'm the only one who's wearing them. And these fragrances were like almost just made for me, if that makes sense. So loads of people would be like, why are you making a video on it, bro? Why don't you just keep them to yourself? I thought, you know what? One video is not going to hurt. Obviously, if the video goes viral, then I'm kind of screwed, but it probably won't. So I thought, let me just tell some people, put you guys on, and then after that, I'm just going to keep it to myself. So I'm trying to build a collection of 5 gatekept fragrances. At the moment, I've got 4 here right in front of me. The 5th one, I'll let you know at the end what brand it's going to be from, but let's get into it. And now kicking off this list in no particular order, we have one of the newest fragrances to my collection. This is from a brand called Naomi Goodsir, and the fragrance is called Eau de Soleil or Eau de Sorel. I'm not really sure how to say it. So I first sampled this fragrance in Bloom Perfumery in Covent Garden a couple of months ago, and I think 2 out of 4 of these fragrances are actually from Bloom. And I remember going into the store and speaking to a lady, I hadn't seen her before, and she was like, what kind of fragrances do you like? And I'm gonna find some bangers for you. So obviously you guys know that I like Angel Share. So I said to her, look, my favorite fragrance is Angel Share. I like a sweet and boozy fragrance. I don't mind a little bit of fruity notes in there as well. And she was like, look, she brought a whole bunch of them down. And this one here, I smelled it and I was like, yeah, this lady's onto something. And to cut a long story short, this fragrance definitely has similarities to Angel Share, but I would kind of say this is this more mature, darker, more like stronger older brother in my opinion. And loads of people kind of compare Angel Share to being a boozy apple pie. And in this fragrance, a few of the notes at the top, you're going to get apple and mango, which is obviously where the apple pie in this fragrance comes from. Then as it dries down, you're greeted with amber, vanilla, tobacco, some woods, but definitely a nice little honey note in there, which if you've been watching the channel, you know I'm not a massive fan of honey in fragrances because they lean a little bit synthetic, like that of Naxos by Xerjoff. But I think a couple very realistic, beautiful honey fragrances are Tobacco Honey by Guerlain and Zoologist Bee, and I think the honey note in this is perfect. And why I say this is like the older brother to Angel Share, this one just smells super mature. Like everything that needs to be pronounced in this is, and in this you got the note of rum, which adds the boozy touch to it. But I've said already that this reminds me of a Jack Daniel's honey flavored drink, which is just lovely. It's one of my favorites. And as well, the woods in this fragrance really stand out. In Angel Share, you don't pick that up too much. You just pick up the sweetness and the booziness, but you really do pick up the woods in this, and it's got a smoky feel. And I just feel like smokier fragrances just lean a little bit more masculine and mature. But I do have to say, this is not going to be for everyone. As soon as I got this, I sprayed it on my brother, I sprayed it on my mum, and their reaction was actually shocking to me. Like the first word my mum was like, yuck. Like I was like, what? Are you mad? I was like, do you like Angel Share? She's like, yeah, she's like, it's nothing like Angel Share. She said, yuck. She's like, it smells like someone sprayed this on themselves and then they died. I was like, rah. Then my brother, I was like, what are you saying? What do you think of it? He's like, nah, man, I'm sorry, man. I know like your taste is good, but this is not the one. So yeah, this is definitely going to split opinion. So do not go and blind buy this. But if you're around Bloom Perfumery in Covent Garden, definitely check it out. And then the next fragrance on this list is from a brand called Idolo, and this fragrance right here is called Love and Crime. And now I did mention this once before in my date night fragrance video that I dropped just before this. So if you haven't seen that video, go and check that. I'll leave a card right above me. But yeah, man, this one is absolutely stunning. And because I know that loads of you probably haven't tried this fragrance, loads of people do compare this one to Xerjoff's Lyra. So if you've tried that, then you'll kind of get an understanding of what this fragrance is like. And I didn't really understand that at first, but when I went and retried it, yeah, it made sense. Like I thought, yeah, they are very similar, but what is more pronounced in Love and Crime is the citrus notes, the mandarin, and the sharpness or sweetness in the opening is very different. And this one's such a soft, cozy, alluring, and kind of sensual, intimate fragrance, and I can't really picture wearing this to anything else than a date night. And I actually wore this one a few weeks ago, and it was guaranteed that I was the best smelling person in the restaurant. And I must say, the concentration on this fragrance is absolutely beautiful. I still don't know if this is an X-straight or is it an EDP, but I'm telling you, man, the way it sits on the skin is amazing. You spray it on, you're literally going to be shining. It's that mad. And I think when I bought this in Les Sienters in Westminster or Chelsea, the lady said the best way to use this fragrance is when you come out of the shower or the bath and you haven't fully dried yourself, just pat yourself down with a towel, then spray this on when your pores are open and it kind of seeps into the skin and it just radiates off you perfectly. I haven't tried that yet, but definitely the next time I wear it, I'll be doing that. And this is a fragrance I like to refer to as a porn star martini or a chocolatey lemon meringue pie, if that even exists. But in here, you got the note of sugar and you got cacao as well. And I don't know, that just made me think, because you got orange and you got the cacao, it does remind me a little bit of one of my favorite fragrances of all time, which is obviously Vanilla Diorama from Dior. So yeah, 100%. If you like Vanilla Diorama or even Nishane Annie, then you're definitely going to like this one. But the cacao is a little bit more pronounced than this, and I just think it's gorgeous. And by the way, if you guys want to see some of my best smelling vanilla fragrances in my collection, just click the card up there. And yeah, to sum it up, I think Love and Crime by ex Idolo is definitely one of the most underrated fragrances in my collection. And I can almost guarantee you, if you smell this, you're going to like it. And you'll probably end up getting a sample at minimum, if not just shelling out for a full bottle straight up. And now this next fragrance is from an Italian brand, and I've tested a couple from them and they smell great. But one thing I hate about them, their bottles are terrible. So this is the bottle right there. The brand is called M.INT. So I don't know if it's M.INT or Mint, but you should be able to see it right there. And this is actually the bottle. You actually just take this lid off, put that to the side, and that is how it sits. You cannot take this out of there. So this is the fragrance right here. And this one is actually called Hit the Mark. And when I got this one, it was either picking up this or there was another one called Meek Passion, which was a tropical banana fragrance. Like, I've never smelt banana in a fragrance and it smelled incredible. It was like a tropical kind of fruit salad. It was gorgeous. And then I smelled this one and I had to grab it. But I know without a doubt I'm going to be going back to get that. Now, how does this fragrance smell? So as soon as I got this one, I had to come home, spray it on a few people and get their opinion on the fragrance. And everyone pretty much said the same thing. They said I get mint chocolate, and that is correct. Because in at the top, you've got mint. In the mid, you've got milk chocolate, but it's almost like a dark chocolate, because loads of people describe this fragrance as smelling like an after 8. And when I first tried it, it reminded me of a Aero Mint actually. And I know there's loads of chocolate fragrances on the market, but loads of them do smell synthetic. For example, slightly like Montal's Chocolate Greedy, that's a little bit synthetic, especially when you compare it to this, because this one is so much smoother. And it's not just a boring chocolate fragrance that's a bit linear. In at the top, you have incense and you have patchouli, so it adds a slight smokiness and a slight spiciness to the fragrance that I really enjoy. And then you guys know some of my favorite notes, ambery tones, you got benzo and you got vanilla in there as well, which just adds to the fragrance. So as soon as I smelt it, I was like to the lady, yeah, I want it. And she's like, look, you smelt quite a few. Go outside, like leave your nose for a bit and then come back and smell it in 5-10 minutes. If you still like it, then I suggest you get it. I literally walked back in after 30 seconds and I said, yeah, bag that up. And this one does smell a little bit boozy at the same time, and it does have a little similarity to a fragrance that I picked up a couple weeks ago. It's from the Merchant of Venice and it's right up there. It's called Andalusian Soul, because I've kind of described that one as like a burnt or smoky creme brulee, and this one has the similar vibe. And I don't know what it is. I've always enjoyed smelling incense in my house when I was younger, when my mum used to burn it and stuff like that. But I never really thought I was a fan of incense when it comes to fragrances. But yeah, man, it seems like I am. And again, I do have to say, I don't think you're going to go and smell this fragrance and be like, oh my God, it's the best fragrance ever. But if you do like a chocolate fragrance, you do like a gourmand fragrance, you do like something different with that mint in there as well, I definitely think try this, even though I don't really want anyone to try it because I want to gatekeep it. Now, I know at the start of the video, I said this is in no particular order, but I think that was kind of capped because this is my #1 Gatekept fragrance. And I've worn this like 5 or 6 times now. And at least 2 or 3 times someone said, listen, yo, what are you wearing? That one smells nice. And if you was one of them and you're watching this video, I'm sorry, because I probably told you this was like a Zara The Most Wanted or it was a Mancera fragrance, but it's not. This one is from the brand Nobile 1942 or Nobile 1942, and I'm calling the fragrance La Danza because I don't know how to say the rest of it, but I will pop the name on the screen. And I know it doesn't really matter, but this fragrance just smells so premium, so luxury. All the details on the bottle, you've got the engravings on the side, you've got the cap and some detail on there, you've got the logo on the bottom as well. It's just these little details. Even when you hold it, you can feel it, and it just feels like proper nice. Even the cap is nice, heavy weighted. It doesn't add anything to the smell, but still. And this was the first Gatekept fragrance that I bought 3 or 4 months ago, and it got to the point that I almost forgot that I had it because I didn't want to put it on my shelf because I didn't want anyone to see it. I didn't want people to be like, yo, what's that one there? So I put it on top of my cupboard over there. And yeah, man, this one is just stunning. So if you're locked into this video right now, you're lucky. And now this is a very sweet and fruity scent, and I think they list the notes as apple and bergamot if I'm not mistaken, but I just get something completely different to that, man. as soon as I spray it, what I pick up in the opening is like peach and apricot for some reason. It's got that kind of tropical but slightly sweet touch to it. And of course I like a sweeter fragrance, so this is right up my alley. But would this be an out and out TJ fragrance if it didn't contain a note of vanilla in there? Definitely not. So lucky that it does. And I think the brand kind of described this fragrance as a fruity gourmand, which is lovely. And I don't think I own anything like that in my collection. And there's something about it that gives me a slight fizz or sherbet feel to the scent. And the performance with this fragrance is nothing crazy. It's your standard 7 to 8 hours, but because of how nice it smells, I don't think I would care even if it lasted 5 or 6, to be honest. And this brand, I think they're exclusive to Jovoy in Mayfair or Jovoy in Paris. So if you want to try this fragrance, you can go there and check it out. And they also have another beautiful one from the brand that I have a sample in that bag right next to me. It's a coffee fragrance called Cafe something. And that's not me trying to hide the name, by the way. I'm not trying to gatekeep it, but go there. It's called Cafe something. I cannot remember the name, but it's also stunning. But yeah, man, that's enough for now. I'm not trying to gas up the fragrances too much, so you guys all go out and buy them. But I am planning to add a 5th fragrance to my kind of Gatekept collection. And it's either going to be from the brands Born to Stand Out, Pierre Guillaume, or it could also be from the brand Alexander, because they got some banging fragrances. But I'm not sure what it is yet. I need to test some more. But the predicament, man, there's just so many fragrances. There's not enough money. There's not enough space. It's mad because I kind of want everything. But make sure to let me know if you have any Gatekept fragrances. And if you don't want to comment it on the YouTube video, just DM me on Instagram or TikTok. I'll check it out because I want to know kind of the bangers that people are hiding. I want to go out and test them, and I promise you I won't put people on. But yeah, for everyone who tapped into this video, I hope you enjoyed it. And listen, don't go out and tell every single person about the ones I was talking about. Let's keep it to ourselves like an exclusive club. And yeah, if you got to this point in the video and you're not subscribed, please just hit that subscribe button. And if you don't want to do that, just like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. It really helps out the channel. First of all, I hope you really enjoyed the content. Thank you for locking in. I'll catch you in the next video. As always, love for the love, my people.